As the title implies, this list is going to be ranking the top 50 songs in the popular music forum Rate Your Music from best to worst, in my opinion. If you don't know what Rate Your Music is, look it up. This video is all my opinion, obviously, and I fully admit I probably have some bad takes here. The specific chart I'm using for this list is with live, archival, and soundtracks included, so there are some more obscure picks in here. I will also clarify that this ranking will be a little loose, by sheer virtue of music being a very hard medium to rank accurately. At a certain point, this feels like ranking my non-existent children, so a lot of the top songs will be pretty much interchangeable in place. Also, I've only listened to some of these songs twice or so it is very possible they'll grow on me, but who knows. Anyways, let's see what amazing songs I think blow super hard. Number 50. Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst by Kendrick Lamar. Jesus Christ! You'd get that if you've heard this song. I'm definitely gonna get some shit for this, even though I honestly don't have very strong opinions on this song. Lyricism is good, unsurprisingly. I think the skit parts in the middle and end are a little too lengthy, but they're not too bad. My only real complaint is that the "Promise Me That You Will Sing About Me" chorus in the first half sounds horrendous to me. The voice is unbelievably annoying in my opinion, and it's sung in a way where it feels like the vocals and instrumentals are slightly unaligned. Other than that though, the song is fine. I don't think the rapping or instrumentals are particularly interesting, and the song probably didn't need to be 12 minutes long, but it's alright. Second half is much stronger than the first in my opinion, at least partially because the chorus isn't there. Number 49. Running Up That Hill, A Deal With God by Kate Bush. Kate Bush stuff is very hit or miss for me, and unfortunately this one is definitely a miss. Her voice here paired with the instrumental just doesn't sound great to me, which is evidently a very unpopular opinion, but damn it, I've got to speak my truth. I don't think this song is bad or anything, but I don't really understand what everyone else sees in this one. It is catchy though, I will admit. Number 48. Ain't It Funny by Danny Brown. This is a pretty good song, but I've absolutely no clue how it's the 27th highest rated song of all time. Jesus man, it's not that good. Brown's voice is quite grating to me and drags down the entire song quality-wise quite a bit, though I will admit that it does fit very well with the psychotic beat he's rapping on. Other than that, though, I like this song, it's decent, just not sure why it's so highly rated. Seems quite overrated to me. Number 47, The Blacker the Berry by Kendrick Lamar. This song is alright, no Kendrick Lamar pun intended. I don't have very strong opinions on it. Like with Thirst song, his voice gets a little grating at a few points, but it's nowhere big of an issue with this. It's nowhere near as big of an issue in this one, Jesus, sorry. I don't think this song is super memorable or interesting, but it's definitely a decent song. Number 46, The Glow Part 2 by The Microphones. As someone who really likes the album The Glow Part 2, I'm not sure what the hype is around the song The Glow Part 2. It's an alright folk song, but I don't feel like it really gets going until there's a minute left, and even then it's just decent. Most of it just feels a little disjointed and kind of nothing. I don't know, it's far from a bad song, and I'd even say I like it, but I cannot say how this is so highly placed on the charts. Number 45, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Yeah, I don't know, there's just something about this song that just does not do it for me. It's probably objectively good, but something about his voice specifically and just the way the song sounds is just grating and not very enjoyable to me. It's far from a bad song, just not something I'd ever probably choose to listen to. Can probably write this one off as one that's pretty good, but not my thing. Please don't hate me for this. Number 44, Echoes by Pink Floyd. This is a very middle-of-the-road prog song in my opinion, which I'm definitely going to get crucified in the comments for. It's pretty good. I think the weird whale noises bit in the middle goes on for a little too long, but other than that I like it. I don't have terribly strong opinions about this song, everything is at least good, I just don't see why this is one of the most acclaimed Pink Floyd songs. It's no Seamus, that's for sure. Number 43, The Glowing Man, Live by Swans. Yep, this is a Swans song. Nothing about this song is bad or anything, it all sounds great in isolation, and I do like this song overall, but Christ, it's just too long. This is an issue I have with several Swan songs, but this is one of the worst examples. I just don't feel like any of the music in here is worth this being 36 minutes long, and it just makes it feel kind of unrewarding to listen to. Vocals, guitar, other instruments are all great as per usual, but this song just doesn't feel like it earns its extreme length, and personally it isn't one of my favorite Swan songs. Number 42, Shook Ones Part 2 by Mobb Deep. This is a quite enjoyable rap song. The beat especially is great, and the rapping is very entertaining. I do think the song could use being a little more dynamic to really deserve the super high rating, but it's still a great song, and just maybe a little too long for what it is. Number 41, Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode. I like this song. That's about it. I don't think thing about this song is outstanding or anything, or worthy of a score like 4.7 out of 5, but it's by no means bad or even just decent. Very enjoyable song, especially the last minute or so that's instrumental, which is probably the best moment of the song. I don't think this song is really anything that special, but it is still quite a good piece of music. Number 40, All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. This is a quite fun song with some very impressive guitar playing. That's about the extent of my thoughts on it. I think it's a little overhyped by both this website and the general music listening populace, but I still really enjoy it. Too bad this Hendrix fellow didn't end up influencing much future music. Number 39, All Caps by Mad Villain. This song is some of the best sampling I've seen in any song, let alone hip-hop song, which really makes me want to rank it higher, but the rapping just feels a little dull to me. I still quite like the song, but the relatively non-dynamic vocals make it not one of my favorite MF Doom songs, let alone songs in general. Don't worry though, I spelled the man's name with all caps in the script. Number 38, Marquee Moon by Television. This song may seem like it's pretty low down and that means there's something wrong with it, but there really isn't, I just don't feel that strongly about it. This is an exceedingly enjoyable song though, super well performed and fun with some great guitar noodling. I think it may be a little overrated, but I still really like it, and would definitely recommend it if you haven't listened to it before. Number 37, Starless by King Crimson. Yeah, I'm gonna get them some shit for this one. I do like this song, but especially compared to some of King Crimson's other epic tracks, it just does not do it for me. The opening 4 minutes, i.e. the quiet part before the song starts to build up, are absolutely exquisite and some of the best music the band's ever put out, and if the whole song kept up that quality, it would easily be one of their best songs. But for about 5 minutes after the opening, there's a section that's pretty much just build up for the final part, and it is extremely dull to listen to in my opinion. Very little instrumental variety to it and goes on for way too long. I could forgive this in some other songs, including some we'll get to later if the build-up is worth it, but in my opinion, it's kinda worth it. The final 3 minutes of hard rock type music are certainly good, but I don't think they're worth the lengthy build-up in terms of quality. They're pretty middle of the road for King Crimson in my opinion. I will say though, the bit very close to the end that reprises the intro melody is easily one of the best moments of the band's career, and if the rest of the last third was like that, I would see why this is so acclaimed. As it stands, it's far from a bad song, but I'd say all it is a pretty good prog song, and not what I consider one of the best songs of all time. Number 36, Farewell Transmission by Songs Ohio. This is another song in here I don't have super strong thoughts on. I think it's a really good song with great instrumentation and vocals, but that's about it. I'm not sure to give it a 4.7 like RateYourMusic did. That's not saying anything bad about this song to any degree though, I quite like it and would definitely recommend it. Also definitely is one of the best song titles on this list. Number 35, Life on Mars by David Bowie. This song is great and I can see why it's regarded as one of Bowie's best, even if I'm not sure I'd say the same. It is still a fantastic song though. Piano, vocals, and lyrics are on point as per usual for Bowie. Melody is great and exceedingly catchy. Pretty much everything is great here. That's about all my thoughts on this one. Number 34. Shine On You Crazy Diamond Parts 1 to 5 by Pink Floyd. This song is about the epitome of progressive rock, which is a positive for me because I really like prog. I think there are parts of this song that drag a little bit, specifically the lengthy semi-ambient intro, but overall this is obviously a fantastic song that uses its length very well. It doesn't really feel like it's wasting your time at any point. I do think I'm one of those psychos who likes parts 6 to 9 more, but this is one of the Pink Floyd's best songs. I would highly recommend giving it, and all of which you're here, a listen if you haven't already. You definitely have, though. Also, Dogs is better. Number 33, Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles. In terms of Beatles songs with insanely high scores in RateYourMusic, I prefer A Day in the Life to this, but this is still obviously a great song. Vocals are great, instrumentals, especially the Mellotron, are fantastic, lyrics are very interesting, whatever, you already know all this. Beatles probably don't need more shilling. But they would definitely deserve it because this song is really good, as previously mentioned. Alright, next song. Number 32, Paranoid Android by Radiohead. I don't really have complicated thoughts on this one, I think this is just a really enjoyable song. The frequent shifts between melodies and musical styles work really well, though I think the song feels a little disjointed, not really too bad though. And of course the actual music is really good as well. Tom York's voice is something I can definitely understand disliking, but personally I think it works really well with most of his music. Instruments are on point too, expectedly. Overall, this is a very well done song that I think might be slightly overhyped in some circles, but I still quite enjoy it. Number 31, Feel Happiness Live by Swans. This is pretty much the average lengthy Swans song, but I think it avoids some of the pitfalls that even songs of theirs I think are much better fall into. Namely that there aren't any bits of it, from the common opening and ending to the build-up to the crescendo, that I think are insanely boring, which is unfortunately a somewhat common thing in Swans music. This song is just engaging and wonderfully played the entire way through. It makes me feel happiness to listen to, if you know what I'm saying. I don't think this is one of my favorite songs of theirs, but I can definitely see why it's so high in the charts, and it's gonna go pretty high on my list, too. Number 30, Sleep by Godspeed You Black Emperor. Another 20-minute-long post-rock song, starting to notice a theme with this website's taste. I like this song a fair bit, but it doesn't feel nearly as sloggy as some other songs in this list. Swans, despite being about as lengthy as them. It doesn't have nearly as many parts that feel kind of dull to sit through, which helps keep it a lot more engaging. Obviously. Pretty tautological statement there. Anyways, this song is really good and exceedingly well performed. Interesting that the post-rock song called Sleep is one of the only ones that doesn't put me to it, am I right? Number 29, 21st Century Schizoid Man by King Crimson. This is much better than Starless in my opinion. Also pretty much the first heavy metal song, which is kind of interesting. The song's opening and closing bits, including the lyrical parts, are great and the lyrics are very well written, but the real fun of the song is the 5-minute-long instrumental break in the middle of the song, which goes insanely hard and is one of the craziest bits in any song in this list. The saxophone in it especially. Very fun song overall, definitely worth a listen. Number 28, Wesley's Theory by Kendrick Lamar. This song is infinitely better than Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, in my opinion. The song goes through several pretty different sounding parts, but they all fit together surprisingly well, and it maintains a level of energy that the Thirst song really doesn't. Lamar uses a similar voice to the one I complained about in Thirst a fair amount in this song, but it doesn't bother me nearly as much here, since a lot of the song's instrumentals sound equally disorienting and strange, compared to Thirst, which has a very basic sounding beat, which does not mesh well with his voice sometimes. Overall, this is a very enjoyable song that I would definitely recommend. Number 27, Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys. This song is just so pleasant to listen to, pretty much a guaranteed mood booster if you put it on. Instrumental is great, but the harmonized vocals are pretty clearly the highlight. They sound fantastic in most Beach Boys songs, but especially in this one. Melody and lyrics are also great, very catchy stuff. Exceedingly enjoyable song overall, also very short, which helps in it not overstaying its welcome. Number 26, In the Air by Fishmans. This is definitely not the best Fishmans song in this list, but I do like it a lot. I think the high-pitched vocals throughout a lot of the song are a little grating, but other than that, this song is fantastic. Amazing instrument playing, melody, composition, general sound, whatever goes into music, I don't know. It's just really good, quite beautiful music, which is pretty unsurprising for Fishmans. Great song. Number 25, How to Disappear Completely by Radiohead. This is a very uplifting song that is not even a little bit depressing, as per usual for Radiohead. Yeah, this song is amazing. The sparse lyricism is some of the best I've seen from the band, and the beautiful instrumentation contributes excellently to the mood of the song. Despite being a pretty downer song, I can definitely see this being relaxing during a very stressful situation, which checks out considering what the song is about. I really like this song, and I think it's a fair bit stronger than Paranoid Android, which admittedly I also really like. Number 24, The Sound by Swans. Lots of Swans representation on this list, which is fair since they're great despite some gripes I have with them. This is also probably one of my favorite songs of theirs. It's a lot shorter than many of their other songs, although still 12 minutes, which is nothing to scoff at, and I think this aids in its not feeling like a slog unlike a few of their other tunes. It's pretty tightly composed, and every section of the song sounds great, including the build-up, which Swans often struggles with making interesting. Very enjoyable song, highly recommend. Number 23, Weird Fishes / Arpeggi by Radiohead. This is probably my favorite Radiohead song on this list. I don't have very complicated thoughts on this tune, it's just really enjoyable and very well played, sung, and composed. Yeah, that's about it for this one. Number 22, Blood Promise Live by Swans. This is apparently the best Swans song, which I personally wouldn't agree with, but it is definitely a great song. I think this has an issue a fair amount of other Swans songs have, where the build-up is super long and a little dull with a payoff that's not quite worth it, but this one isn't a super bad example of it. The common opening is great, though I question the choice of using a Christian hymn to open it. And the remainder of the song after, i.e. the build-up and payoff, are also quite good, though not some of Swan's best in my opinion. It just doesn't feel quite as impactful as some other Swan songs, especially given the very long build-up. This isn't to say it's even remotely bad, though. I'm really only saying all this because this is the third best song of all time, according to RateYourMusic. I still love this song. The instrumentals of it are absolutely beautiful and definitely some of the most lush of the band's career. Even with it being a touch overrated in my opinion, I would still highly recommend it. Number 21. New York, I Love You But You're Breaking Me Down, live, by LCD Sound System. I don't think this is one of my favorite LCD songs, but it is quite good, both in studio and in this live version. This version also interpolates part of the Twin Peaks theme, which instantly gives it points in my book. This is definitely one of the band's more emotionally affecting songs, and it definitely does that well. The lyrics are great as usual, same with vocals. Instruments in this song are a lot less electronic than usual for the band, but it works very well for this song. Number 20. Stickerbush Symphony by David Wise. That meme that's like, oh, this is just a song for a video game, you don't have to make it that good, but then the guy does make it that good. It's something I normally think is stupid because it's, the composer's job to make the song good. But the Donkey Kong Country soundtracks are one of the only examples where I think that meme is accurate, because Jesus Christ. The games are really fun and well-designed platformers, but I don't know if they're deserving of this good of a soundtrack. Personally, my favorite DKC song is easily Aquatic Ambience from the first game, but a second is definitely this from the second one. I feel weird saying one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard is from an SNES game about getting bananas as a monkey, but it is a truthful statement. I don't know how you even make synth noises sound this good paired together. David Wise is truly a god among men. Number 19. A Day in the Life by the Beatles. On one hand, this song is really good and definitely one of my favorite Beatles tracks, and I can see why it's so high up, but on the other hand, there's absolutely no way this is the best song ever made. At least the best non-soundtrack live or archival song. There's nothing particularly wrong with it, besides the outro maybe being a little too long, though that's debatable, not something I super agree with. But I just cannot see why it's the highest rated song of all time. Not sure it's even my favorite Beatles song. I am the Walrus Clears, obviously. But disregarding all that, this song is still obviously fantastic. The dynamic song switcher keeps it continually fresh, and the instrumentals and vocals are of course great. I'm definitely partial to Lennon's sections in the song, but McCartney's are great too. Lyrics are also very well done. And of course I can't neglect the extremely influential experimental parts of the song, particularly the two crescendos, which don't sound dated at all surprisingly and work very well. Overall, great song, just far from my favorite of all time. Number 18. Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. Realistically, this song shouldn't be up this high, but it is just so damn entertaining and fun. There are definitely a lot of things I could criticize about the song, like the chorus probably being repeated too many times and the outro being a little bit dull, but people who do that just hate fun, I think. Although I might be making up a person here, because I haven't seen anyone besides me comment on these things. This song is just enjoyable and charming, hard to not have a good time listening to it. It also has one of the best choruses of all time and fantastic lyrics. You may ask yourself why I'm putting this song this high, but I just told you. Idiot. Number 17. Hasta que te conocí, Puppery, live by Juan Gabriel. I have definitely mispronounced that, I'm sorry. This is apparently the second best song of all time, and I can definitely see it. The first 3 minutes are a little slow, but the remaining 22, yeah, it's one of those songs, are absolutely outstanding. It maintains an incredibly high level of energy throughout and is just extremely fun to listen to. Gabriel's voice is great, and the instrumental is very lively and enjoyable, and overall it is just a really fun song that doesn't drag at all despite its extreme length. Would highly recommend. Number 16. Farewell, live by Boris with Merzbow. The live album Rock Dream by Boris with Merzbow has a lot of representation in this list, and I can definitely see why. It is an incredible album, and this is definitely one of the best songs in it. Compared to some of Boris's other noise rock work, this song is a lot more emotionally charged, and it definitely benefits from it. The extremely distorted guitar paired with the excellent vocals make this a quite good song, and a great way to end the aforementioned live album. Number 15. Heroes by David Bowie. Out of the top 3 non-live archival or soundtrack songs in RateYourMusic, this is definitely my favorite, and I think it deserves a spot much more than A Day in the Life or Starless. I am also a huge Bowie fan, so that definitely helps, but this is just a really good song overall. The guitar playing and general instrumentals were fantastic, but the lyrics and vocals are clearly the main draw of the song, and they are definitely deserving of the high ranking. The first half of the song where Bowie is singing normally is great, of course, but the second half with him pretty much yelling is some of the best vocal work I've heard in any song, let alone any Bowie song, and the lyrics contribute to the desperate feel of the second half tremendously. Of course, you already know all this because you've heard the song like 100 times, but it definitely deserves its popularity, even if I don't think it's Bowie's best overall. Number 14, Starman by David Bowie. It's another Bowie song. Very unpopular opinion, but this is a good song. Lyrics are great, instruments are great, vocals are great, melody is great, pretty much everything here is great. I think the ending with Bowie singing a large amount of Laws might be the best moment of his musical career. It's insanely good. I'm not sure this is my favorite song off Ziggy Stardust, Soul Love Clears, but it is an excellent song that definitely deserves the popularity it's garnered. Number 13, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Hot take, this is a really good song and one of their best. No one has ever said that before, I know, I'm a real boundary crosser. Anyways, this song is obviously fantastic. A song that is at least half comprised of one short riff repeated wouldn't seem like it would be incredible, but it really is. The real treat of the song, though, was the lyrical parts. They are some of the best music I've ever heard. The lyrics are amazing too, of course. I actually think the song is dragged down a little by how long the riff repetition goes on for in the second half, though it's not a big deal at all, and the song is still easily one of the best ever made. Number 12, When the Sun Hits by Slow Dive. Amazing song, definitely one of the best shoegaze tracks I've heard. Pretty much just a perfect distillation of the genre's best qualities. Great vocals, great guitar, pretty much great everything. Very beautiful song. Love it. This list is definitely not taking a slow dive in quality, huh? Huh. Yeah, obviously it isn't because it's the worst to best. Idiot. Number 12, When You Sleep by My Bloody Valentine. This song is so good, dude. The main riff that goes like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da is definitely one of the best I've heard in any music, and the general sound of it is just beautiful. I can't even really describe why I like this song so much, it's just so wonderful to listen to. In the wise words of Siskel and Ebert, 2 thumbs up. Number 10, Feedbacker by Boris with Merzbow. This is a song that I can't really describe adequately without you having to listen to it, which is something I'd highly recommend, but in essence, a really good song. This is pretty much a 35-minute long noise rock song, but the first 20 minutes or so were just the build-up to it. With a few other songs in this list, I think the length of the build-ups are pretty excessive, but I don't think that applies to this one, even with its extreme length. Mainly just because the less intense parts of the song are just still fantastic sounding, and very engaging. I do think it could maybe have a few minutes trimmed off the build-up, but it's not too bad. The noise rock section it builds to, Jesus Christ. You can definitely tell Merzbow was involved with this. It is unbelievably good. The sheer amount of distortion contributes greatly to the song. The amount of feedback, even? Good song. Number 9, Helpless Child by Swans. Alright, I'm going to level with you and say that the live version of this is right next to this one on my ranking, and all my thoughts are going to be there. This is basically the same song as the live version. I just think the live version being a little longer and noisier makes it better. Okay, let's talk about that one now. Number 8, Helpless Child Live by Swans. This is personally my favorite Swans song, and definitely one of my favorite songs of all time. The lyrics describing a fetus whose mother is doing large amounts of drugs and alcohol are suitably grim and fit the off-putting nature of the song, but the real treat of it is the instrumental component. Jesus Christ. The mostly lyrically focused first 6 minutes of the song are fantastic, and Michael Guerra's voice works amazingly to set up the dreary atmosphere of the song. After this comes a lengthy build-up to the final part of the song. I do think this bit goes on too long and could have a few minutes cut of it considering how little changes during it, but it is so worth it for the last 5 minutes or so. Again, Jesus Christ. I can barely even describe this section, you should definitely just listen to it yourself. It may be the best passage of any song I've ever heard. It is insane. Overall, the song could definitely have a few minutes trimmed, but it is insanely good and definitely deserves the very high placement on the charts it gets. Number 7, Time by Pink Floyd. This is definitely my favorite Pink Floyd song in this list, and it is basically a perfect song. The first 2 minutes that are pretty much just build-up are arguably unnecessary, but I like them. I don't think just jumping into the main part of the song feels right. The opening is also quite pleasing to listen to on its own, in my opinion. But yeah, the core of the song is absolute peak music. Of course, the lyrical parts are amazing with some of the best lyrics of the band's career, but the guitar solo, Jesus Christ, easily one of the best ever done. How a solo can rock that hard and make me want to cry my eyes out at the same time is truly impressive, although maybe par for the course for David Gilmour. This song is probably the best traditional prog rock song, amazing stuff. Number 6. Into the Endless Night, live by Paranol. I have no idea how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. The opening and closing 15 minutes of this 45-minute long epic are probably some of the best stretches of music I've heard. Like, again, Jesus Christ. They really need to be heard to be believed, but they are indescribably beautiful pieces of music. There is a pretty lengthy bit in the middle of this song, though, that is like noise rock, including a several-minute-long Merzbowian harsh noise wall. And I like this part in isolation a lot, but I don't think it really fits with the significantly less noisy opening and ending of the song, and it does overall detract from it a bit. That isn't to say this isn't one of the best songs ever made, though, because it absolutely is. It is insane to me that humans can make stuff like this. Definitely give this one a listen if you haven't. Number 5. Just Abandoned Myself, live by Boris with Merzbow. This is personally my favorite song in Boris on this list, by pure virtue of how insane it is. Most of the song is absolutely brain-melting noise rock that is just so much fun to listen to, and probably go deaf to. By the end of the song, it pretty much just evolves into sheer noise, which is objectively unpleasant to listen to for several minutes, but contributes to the vibe heavily and is a great way to cap off one of the most distorted songs I've ever heard. I think Feedbacker might be an objectively better song than this, but this one's my personal favorite from them. Just make sure not to turn it up too high if you're wearing headphones. Number 4. There Was a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths. I won't lie, I have no idea how to adequately describe the way this song makes me feel. This is one of the most emotionally impactful songs I've heard, and I barely even know what emotion it's impacting, but it sure does. I think melancholy, maybe? Anyways, this song is amazing. I can definitely understand disliking Morrissey's voice, and a few other things about him, but I think it works phenomenally in this song and in most of the Smiths' discography. The jangly guitars work great with his voice, and the weird synth-type noise that pops up around the halfway mark, I have no idea what this instrument is, adds a surprising amount to the song. Lyrics are also great, unsurprisingly. Overall, this song is definitely one of my favorites, and I can see why it's so high in the charts. Number 3. All My Friends, live by LCD Sound System. Despite being a band that I think generally works better live, this song is one that I think is better in the studio. This does not mean the live version is anywhere close to bad, though. On the contrary, this is easily one of the best songs I've ever heard. The interplay between the piano playing, the increasingly involved other instruments, the lyrics, and James Murphy's voice create one of the most emotionally charged songs I've listened to, which is pretty hard to describe without you listening to it, which you should definitely do, by the way. The lyrics especially, describing the experience of getting older, much like pretty much every other LCD Sound System song, are just so good and complement the music perfectly. I really like this song, if you can't tell. Number 2. Long Season, live by Fishmans. This is the highest rated song in RateYourMusic, and while I don't think it's my absolute favorite song, holy shit, this song is amazing. There's no way most people would say a 40-minute long song by an obscure dream pop band would be the best song ever made, but I can see why these folks did. The vocals are good, but the instrumentals in this song, specifically guitar and piano, are off the charts good. This song has some of the most beautiful passages of any music I've ever listened to. Again, like Jesus Christ. The piano riff playing throughout is something you'd think would get tiring to listen to after 40 minutes, but it really doesn't off the sheer quality of it. I think the more ambient parts in the middle may go on a little too long, but overall I cannot recommend this song enough, it is insanely good. Number 1. Dance Yourself Clean, live by LCD Sound System. I think I prefer the studio version of this, but yeah, this song is absolutely outstanding. Some of the best composition I've ever seen. I don't think this version needs the 2-minute long opening, but it doesn't hurt it too much, and the rest is possibly the peak of music. The moment when the beat drops and the song fully starts is one of the best moments of any song I've heard, and the rest of the song from there carries that energy insanely well. It is so good, dude. This is definitely in the running for my favorite song of all time. I do wish they didn't skip the final chorus in this version, but also I cannot imagine how the singer's voice must have felt by that point, so maybe I can't blame them too much. If you haven't heard this song, either version, do yourself a favor and give it a listen. It definitely earns the spot as my favorite song on this list, I'd say. Or the best. This is totally an objective ranking. In conclusion, I'm probably going to get a ton of hate for this list, so preemptively I'm sorry for my opinions. Thanks for watching this, and I hope you have a good day full of 70-minute long songs.